Welcome to NMAP Mastery, Ultimate Guide to Network Scanning. My name is Twinkle Sharma, and I will be helping you to learn everything you need to know about NMAP in this course. This course is designed to take you from a beginner to advanced level in NMAP. So we'll start with the basics, covering what NMAP is, how to install it, then we'll dive into network scanning, explore advanced scanning techniques, and understand network discovery. You will also learn specialized scanning methods, practical applications, and integration with other tools. Finally, we'll test your knowledge with a final quiz to reinforce what you have learned. And this course is packed with hands-on demonstration, real-world scenarios, and practical tips to ensure you not only understand the theory, but can also apply it in your work. We'll also touch on some specialized topics like MAC address proofing and evaluating firewalls and ideas or IP systems.
This course is perfect for anyone interested in network security, ethical hacking, or cybersecurity, but a basic understanding of networking concepts will be helpful. I'm excited to have you on board and look forward to guiding you on your journey to mastering NMAP. Let's get started. See you in the course.
In this lecture, we'll explore what is NMAP. NMAP or Network Mapper is a tool that helps you to see what's on your network. So think of it like a flashlight in a dark room. So when you turn on the light, it shows you all the things which are there in the room. Same as using NMAP, it shows you all the devices which are connected to your network. Let's say you have a small office with a printer, laptop, server, and a router, and you want to check what's connected. So you can use a simple command nmap -sp and the IP address of the network. Okay, 1.0/24. So here we have /24 is the subnet. So this checks which devices are on your network, and the result shows all the active devices and their IP addresses. That will confirm that our router, server, laptop, and printer are online. So it's like making a quick head count to see who's present. So with nmap, you can easily see what devices are connected and what services they are running. It's a simple but a powerful way to understand and manage your network. In the upcoming lessons, we'll explore NMAP features and how you can use them. Thank you for watching. In this video, I will show you how to set up the Kali machine and Metasploit Table 2 machine on VMware. So first search on Kali Linux download on Google and click on this Get Kali. Alright, and then click on Virtual Machine and then download it for VMware. Okay, click here. So it will start downloading this Kali machine for VMware. And on another tab, just search for Metasploit Table 2 download and click on this Metasploit Table. Okay, and you can download this Metasploit Table from here. So after downloading this Kali Linux and Metasploit Table, let's see how we can set up the Kali machine and Metasploit Table 2 on VMware. Then you have to extract these files, this Kali Linux file and the Metasploit Table Linux file. Okay, after extracting it, just open this VMware. And then we will click on this Open Virtual Machine. And then click on this folder. After that, just click on this. So then click on this Play Virtual Machine. And then press N key. Okay. It will automatically start. And for Kali Linux, the default credential is Kali and Kali. Username is Kali, and the password is also Kali. Alright. So we'll type the username and password. Okay. So this is how you can set up the Kali Linux on VMware. Now we'll see how you can set up the Metasploit Table 2 machine. Once again, click on Open a Virtual Machine. Then select the file. So the file name is this is a folder and here is a file. Okay, and just click on Play Virtual Machine. So starting up. So for this Metasploit Table 2 machine, the username and password are msfadmin. Just type msfadmin for username and msfadmin for the password. So this is how you can set up the Kali Linux and Metasploit Table 2 on VMware. That's all for this video. In this section, we'll walk through the steps to install NMAP on different operating systems and configure it for optimal use. So NMAP, short for Network Mapper, is an open source tool used for network discovery and security auditing. So to get started, let's download NMAP from the official website. Just go to nmap.org and here you can find version for Windows Okay, just go to this download tab and you can see the latest version for Windows operating system, Mac and Linux, or any other OS. Okay, so if you want to download it for Windows operating system, just click on Windows installer link, and once downloaded, just run the installer and follow the on-screen instruction. So it's easy to do the setup for Windows and Mac OS. And for Mac OS, just download the installer package and follow the standard installation. And after installation, you can verify it by opening terminal and typing nmap -- version. So I'll show you how you can download and set up it for Linux. Okay, so for Debian based system, just open your terminal and type the command sudo apt get install nmap. Okay, so type the command sudo apt get install nmap. This command will install the nmap. Okay, and after installation, verify that nmap is properly configured by running nmap. Okay, so this will show you the help page of it, or you can see by using nmap -- help. So that's going to show you the help page of nmap. Now let's perform a simple scan on a local network. So just type the command nmap -sp and the IP address of the network. Okay, /24. That's the subnet. Okay, so this command will ping all the devices in the specified IP range, and then it will list the ones that are up. So you can see it's showing that this host is up 192.168. So you can gather more information about this IP address. So in this lecture, we covered the installation and basic setup of nmap across different operating systems. In the next session, we'll explore advanced scanning techniques and how to interpret nmap results effectively. Thank you for watching. In this lecture, we'll learn network scanning with nmap. So what is network scanning? Network scanning is the process of discovering active devices on a network, identifying their IP addresses, and gathering information about the services running on these devices. There are three main objectives of network scanning. First is discovering live host. So we'll identify which devices are active and connected to the network. Then service detection will determine the services and application running on the discovered host. And then operating system detection. So we'll identify the operating systems of the host. So nmap is widely used for these purposes due to its efficiency and the wealth of information it can provide. Now next we have is types of scans in nmap. So nmap offers a variety of scanning techniques, each suited for different scenarios. Let's go over some of the most commonly used scans. First we have is ping scan. So the purpose of the ping scan is to quickly identify live host without scanning for open ports. So the command that you can use for it is nmap -sn, and here you can mention the target IP address or the domain. Okay, so this scan is useful when you want to get a list of active devices on a network without getting detailed information. Next we have is scene scan. So the scene scan is also known as half open scan, and it is the default and most popular scan option in the nmap. The command that you can use for it, nmap -s, capital S, and you can mention the target. Okay, so the scan sends in packets and wait for SYNAC responses to identify open ports without completing the TCP handshake. So it is fast, making it ideal for large network. Okay, next we have is UDP scan -su. So it is used for scanning open UDP ports. Okay, the command that you can use is nmap -su, and you can mention the target. So as you know, UDP does not have a handshake mechanism like TCP. So UDP scans can be slower and more challenging, but they're essential for discovering services like TNS and SMP. Next we have is service version detection -sv. So it is used to determine the version of the services running on open ports, and this is the command that you can use for running the scan nmap -sv, and here you can mention the target IP address. Okay, next we have is to detect operating system. So for that you can use -o option, and then we have is aggressive scan. Aggressive scan is used to combine multiple scans into one, including OS detection, version detection, script scanning, and trace route. So if you want to use the scan, just type the command nmap -A and mention the target IP address. Alright, so that's the aggressive scan. That's all for this lecture. Thank you for watching. In this lecture, you will learn some basic commands and options of nmap. So let's start with the first command, nmap -help. So this command will display the help page of the nmap. You can see the help page, right? First, we can see the nmap version, and a simple uses format like nmap, scan type, options, target specification. So you can scan specific IPs, whole networks, or even domain names. And under target specification, you can input IP addresses, host names, or networks. You can also exclude certain hosts or use input files for bulk scanning. So hope you guys can explore all these options for host discovery, scan techniques, port specification, and scan order. There are lots of options in Nmap. So we'll explore them one by one. And if you want to save this output, Nmap also provides extensive output options, enabling you to save results in various formats like XML or grabbable with the -o flag. Okay. So Nmap -help is your go-to reference for Nmap capabilities. So let's see some basic commands of using this Nmap. Okay. So you can see some examples of it. So let's type Nmap and any IP address like 192.168. I will enter the IP address of the metasploitable machine. We'll go to metasploitable machine. My metasploitable machine IP address is 192.168.174.160. 174.160. So you can see it is scanning for the ports and the state, and it is displaying the service which is running on these ports. Right? So this is the simplest nmap command. Just type nmap and followed by the target IP address or host name, and Nmap will perform a basic scan to discover open ports and services that you can see over here. Right? Next, if you want to perform a simple ping scan to check if the host is up, use the -sp option. So this command will send ICMP echo request and TCP ACK packets to determine the host availability. As you can see, it is displaying as host is up with the MAC address of the target machine, right? Now, if you want to scan for specific ports, then type nmap -p, and here you can mention the port number that you want to scan for, like if these ports are open or not, and then mention the IP address of the target machine. Okay. So this is useful when you are interested in particular services running on known ports. You can specify a single port or range of ports or a list of ports. Next, for service version detection, you can use SV option. So just type the command nmap -sp and the IP address of the target machine. So it probes open ports to determine what services and version are running. So this is especially useful for identifying potential vulnerabilities. So you can see it is displaying us which port is open and what services running on those ports with the version, right? So you can see on 21 port FTP service is running, and the version is BSFTPD. Alright. Next, if you want to know what operating system is running on the target, then just type nmap -o and the target IP address. Alright. So it's capital O. Then hit enter. So this will display you what operating system target is using. So you can see OS detail Linux 2.6.9, right? And even it is displaying the information regarding the port, state, and service. Next option is -a. Okay, we'll see what is -a option. So this is for aggressive scanning, which includes OS detection, version detection, script scanning, and trace route. So this commands give you a comprehensive overview of the target. Okay, so you can see it will display us everything from OS detection to trace route. So this command will take some time, right? And I can see it is displaying us this result, right? From this port, like 21 port is open, the service is FTP, the version is BSFTPD, right? And even so much information about this, right? About this port, like it is connected to 192.168.174.165, logged in as FTP, type Sky, no session bandwidth limit, right? And more information about the target. Next we have is the scan or syn scan, and it is one of the most popular scanning technique in Nmap. It is faster and less likely to be detected by firewalls and intrusion detection system. So just type the command nmap -ss and the target machine IP address, then hit enter. You can see it is starting nmap. Nmap version is this one. Nmap scan report for this IP address and the time taken, right? 0. 0 something seconds it took, and it is displaying us that 977 ports are closed, means it is not active. Okay, and then it is displaying us list of ports. So what this command is doing here, this is command sends in packets and wait for responses, making it effective method for discovering open ports without establishing a full TCP connection. Now we have covered the essential. Okay, so let's see how we can save this. So if you want to save this in a human readable format, okay, use this option -1. When it is means it is saving in a normal format. So I will save it in a out.txt file. Okay, so it will save all these things in out.txt file. If you want to see that, just check this out.txt file. Okay, using cat command, you can see, right? You can see the result. That's all for this lecture. Up next, we'll explore real world scenarios where these nmap commands comes into play. Thanks for watching. In this lecture, we're going to explore a powerful feature of nmap, scanning the most common ports using top ports option. This is a great way to quickly identify services running on a target system without scanning every single port. So what is a top ports option in nmap? Top ports option in nmap allows you to specify a certain number of the most commonly used ports to scan. For example, if you want to check the top 10 most popular ports, you would use -- top ports 10. This is particularly useful when you're in a hurry or when you know that the services you are interested in are likely to be running on these common ports. So let's see how you can use it. So guys, open your terminal and type in this command nmap -- top ports and number of ports that you want to scan for, and then mention the target IP address. Okay, then hit enter. So here are the results. First is displaying us port 21 is open, that is running FTP service, which is typically used for the file transfers. Then we have port 22 is open, so that is running SSH, that is used for secure remote logins. Then we have port 23, port 23 is open, that is running tailnet. Then we have port 80, port 80 is open, it's running HTTP. And lastly, we have 443 is open, not open, it's closed. So it means no secure HTTP service is running. Additionally, the scan provided the MAC address of the target, and it is indicating it's a VMware virtual machine. Now, if you want to scan top 100 port, okay, just change this number to 100. Alright, that's it for this lecture. Thank you for watching. Yeah, everyone, in this lecture, you will learn how to scan ports on vulnerable web application. I will show you how to uncover open ports, interpret the results, and understand what they mean. So let's get started. For this, I'm using testphp1web.com. Okay, a vulnerable web application used for security testing. So just copy this and let's scan this using nmap. So we run a basic scan to see what's open. So just type nmap and testphp.oneweb.com. Okay, and just hit enter. So it will show you what ports are open. So you can see it is starting nmap. You can see the nmap version 7.94, right? So this command will scan the most common ports and give us a quick overview. Okay. So the results show several open ports, including FTP on port 21, HTTP on port 80, RTSP on port 554, and then last one is PPTP on 1723, right? And it is even showing how much time it took, right? Host is up and 0.045 second it took, right? Next, let's focus on port 80, which is where the web server is running. So to scan only this port and skip host discovery, just type nmap -p 80 and then -pn. Okay, and just type test1web.com. So this will just show the result for port 80. Okay, so you can see the port 80 is open, right? Meaning the web server is accessible. So this is where the web application is hosted. If you want to get the detailed information about the service running on port 80, we'll use nmap with -sv option. Okay, just type the same command and just use one more option, -s and v. So this option will detect the service and version. Just hit enter. So here -p, it will target port 80. Okay, it will show you the results of port 80, and -pn, it will skip host discovery, whereas -sv, it will perform version detection. So you can see the scan reveals the port 80 is open and it is running Nginx 1.19. That's a popular web server, right? So this version of Nginx may have specific vulnerabilities or security issues that could be exploited if not properly secured. Each open port represents a service running on test firmware. For example, FTP on port 21 might allow file transfers, and HTTP on port 80 gives us access to the web application. That's all for this lecture. Thank you for watching. In this lecture, we're covering how to use Nmap to detect the operating system and service versions running on a target machine. So type in nmap -o-sb and target machine IP address. Here -o option detects the operating system of the target machine, and this is done by analyzing the responses it gets from the host, which helps Nmap guess the OS. Then we have -sb option. So -sb option is used for service version detection. It is used to determine which services are running and, more importantly, their versions. Now let's take a look at the results of the scan. So let's hit enter. So Nmap detected the target machine is running a Linux operating system, specifically a kernel version between 2.6.9 to 2.6.33, and the scan revealed several services running on this machine. For example, FTP on port 21 running via FTPD. So knowing these versions allow you to search for known vulnerabilities that could be exploited in these services. Why is this information important? So by identifying the OS and specific service versions, you can tailor your security assessments more effectively. For instance, if you find an outdated version of MySQL, you know how to check for specific exploits related to that version. And that's it. Thanks for watching. In this lecture, we learn about NSE. NSE is like the ultimate upgrade to your Nmap scan. It's not just about finding open ports, it's about diving deeper. So think of NSE as a collection of powerful automated systems that can do everything from finding vulnerabilities to identify the specific software versions running on your target. So NSE scripts are pre-written commands that tell Nmap what to look for. So if you want to check if the website is vulnerable to an attack, there is a script for that. And the best part, you don't need to be coding genius to use them. So how you can use NSE? It's simple. In kernel Linux, these scripts live in user shared Nmap scripts. So let's type in cd user share and then Nmap, then scripts. Okay, then type ls for listing files and directories. So I've got scripts for almost anything you can imagine, from brute forcing VNC passwords to identifying outdated TLS configuration, and running them is also easy. So let's see. Let's say you are targeting a website and you want to find who owns the domain. Okay, so simple, we'll use a who is domain script. So this I will copy this website URL. Okay, and I will type nmap --- script, and I will use the script whose domain equal to whose domain.nse. Okay, so we'll type it whose -domain.nse and the target. Okay, so let's run it. So instantly you will get whose information right in your terminal. So with this command, this will display the whose information of the target. Okay, but if you want to dig into the IP address details, then you can use IP. Okay, whose IP.nse, and let's take this time, let's take google.com. So this command will display you the IP address of google.com. Okay, so you can see it is returning us the IP address or DNS record for this IP. Okay, so if you copy and paste this IP, then it will open google.com, right? And it is even displaying about the port information, which port is open, right, and what services running on those ports. Next, now let's get a little creative. And this isn't just about running pre-made scripts, you can chain them together for even more powerful scans. So here is how. Just type in this command nmap --- script. I'm using two scripts this time. Okay, http title http num.nse, -p, and I'm focusing on two ports, port 80 and port 443, and my target is testphp.vulnweb.com. So just hit enter. So this command first grabs the HTTP titles, then enumerates potential hidden directories. So it's a quick way to get a snapshot of what the web server is exposing. This scan shows that the host php.oneweb.com is up and has an IP address of this one. It also shows that host domain is this one, right? And the port is open. This 80 port is open, that is running HTTP service. And using HTTP title script, it is giving us a hint about what the website is about, right? And with HTTP enum script, it has identified several directories on the web server that could be of interest, like /admin, possible admin folder, /login.php, and many more directories, right? And then it is displaying as 443 filtered. So this port, it is not able to determine whether it is open or closed. So maybe the firewall is blocking. So with this single command, you have gathered key information that could lead to further exploitation. And now I want you all to explore more and more scripts. Only then you can become an expert. That's it for this lecture. In this lecture, you will learn about host discovery techniques. Host discovery is the process of finding out which devices or computers are currently active and connected to a network. So using host discovery, you can find out active devices, IP addresses, and some basic details like the device MAC address or the type of device, depending on the scan method used. Let's start with the basics. If you want to check whether a single device is online, you can use a simple nmap command. For instance, here is how to scan a specific IP address to see if it is up. So type in nmap-sn and the IP address of the target machine. Here -sn option is used to disable port scanning. Okay, and it will focus only on finding live host, as we do not want to know which port is open. So we are using this option. Okay, so let's run this command and you can see it is displaying us this host is up 192.168.174.160, right? And the MAC address of this host. So we can see this is running on a virtual machine, right? And this IP address is the IP address of the metasploitable machine. Okay, you can see the metasploitable 2 machine IP address is 192.168.174.160. So this is how you can find the live host. Okay, and this is for single IP. Next, let's say you want to check an entire range of IP addresses. Here is how you can do it. So we'll scan from 192.168.174.0 to 161 to identify all the active devices within this range. So this will identify several hosts, each with this IP and MAC addresses. Okay, you can see it is displaying the IP addresses with the MAC addresses, right? So Nmap quickly scans the entire range, showing us which IPs are active and providing additional details like MAC addresses. Sometimes you need speed over stealth. For those situations, you can use nmap-t5 timing template, which speeds up the scan significantly. Let's apply it to the same range and see the difference. So you can see it has scanned this range within 1.79 seconds, right? And displaying us this host is up with MAC address, right? So T5 is perfect when you want to do very fast scan, though it might be too aggressive for some networks. What are timing templates? Nmap timing templates are predefined profiles that adjust the speed and stealth of a scan. We'll see various options in the timing templates. So first we have -T0, that's paranoid, and this is extremely slow. It is designed to avoid detection by intrusion detection systems, and the scan can take several hours to days depending on the size of the target range and network conditions. Then next we have -T1 option. Okay, so this one is slow and stealthy. Then we have T2, that is slower than normal. Then T3, that is having default speed. Then T4, that is aggressive, faster than normal. Then T5, this one is very fast, but may overload the network or miss host due to the speed. So if we have a larger network and we want to scan it very fastly, then we can use T5 option. Okay, but it can miss hosts due to its speed. All right. So if you as we are moving from T0 to T5, you can see the scanning speed is increasing, right? Now we scan an entire subnet using the CRDR notation, which is perfect for larger networks. So this time we are scanning 192.168.174.0/24, which includes all IPs from 192.168.174.0 to 255 that contains 256 hosts. So it will scan for all the 256 hosts. So with this scan, we will identify all the active devices on the subnet, giving us comprehensive overview of the network. So this method is ideal for discovering every live host in a broader network. So you can see it has scanned for 256 IP addresses, in which 5 hosts are up, and it has scanned this in 1.92 seconds, right? So you can see it is giving report for this IP address with the MAC address of this device, right? And that's it for this lecture. In this lecture, we'll explore how to use NMAP for vulnerability scanning, specifically utilizing the vulnerability script to identify potential vulnerabilities in a target system. So you can obtain the vulnerability script from two main sources. First, you can get it from GitHub. Okay, just search for vulnerabilities GitHub repository, and second, you can get it from NMAP script directory, user share /nmap/scripts. Just type here ls and then pipe symbol, then grab -e, then vul, so you can get this script. Okay, vulnerabilities.nsc. So hope you know how to use the script using nmap -script and vulnerabilities.nsc, then mention the target IP address. Alright. Now type in the command nmap -sp -p80 and mention the script vulnerabilities.nsc, then the target. So your -sp option is used to determine the version of the services running on the target. Then -p80, that is typically used for HTTP, okay, port 80. And then the script, so it is used to identify vulnerabilities based on the version information obtained. And the target that we want to scan, so just hit enter. So after scanning the target machine, you can see scan report for the target machine, host is up, and it is displaying us the information about the port. That 80 port is open, it is running HTTP with version of the service. Okay, and we are getting more detail about this version. And here you can see CPE. So CPE is common platform enumeration. So here it is identifying that scan system is running Apache HTTP server version 2.28. Okay, and here we have SSV followed by unique number. So this serves as an identifier for a specific vulnerability in the CBUG database with the severity score of 10. Okay, so that's a critical vulnerability. And with the link that will, if you open this link, this will direct you to a page with detailed information about the vulnerability, including how it can be exploited and the potential impact on affected systems. So in the vulnerability management, severity score indicates the potential risk and impact of a vulnerability. The higher the score, the more severe the vulnerability. So if the severity score is in between 9 to 10, then that was an extremely high risk and can have a severe impact on the system or network. And if the severity score is 7 to 8.9, then in this range are serious and can lead to significant issues, though they may not be as critical as those in the highest range. And then we have with low rating, medium and low rating. So you can see the CV score of low and medium rating. So if the CV score is 0, then those vulnerabilities that have no impact or risk. And if the vulnerability severity score is in between 7 to 10, it indicates a high to critical risk, which often means that there are greater chances of an attacker successfully exploiting the system. So that's it for this lecture. Thank you for watching. In this lecture, we use NMAP to demonstrate practical evasion techniques against firewalls and IDS or IPS systems. First, we'll use decoy scanning to mask our real IP address, making it difficult for IDS or IPS to identify the source of the scan. So type in nmap -d rnd:10 and specify the target host or the IP address. So with -d rnd:10, nmap uses 10 random decoys, blending our scan traffic with other IP addresses. So this confuses the IDS or IPS as it cannot determine which IP is conducting the scan. Okay, so as to understand this command, we'll start the Wireshark. Okay, then we'll get to know what is happening in the background. Just start the Wireshark and then choose the interface. Okay, and then enter this command. So now you can see from the multiple IP addresses, the traffic is going. You can check the source IP addresses have been changed. Whereas these IP addresses, the destination IP address is same because it's the IP address of the website, and And you can see it is keep generating the random IP addresses. So using that command, it is generating the random IP addresses, okay, and sending the traffic to the website. So in this case, the IDs or IPs will not able to take the source IP address, as it is sending the traffic from random IP addresses. Next, we see packet fragmentation technique. This technique involves splitting packets into smaller pieces to bypass detection mechanism. So type in the command nmap -f and the hostname of the target or the IP address and enter the command. So using -f flag in nmap, we fragment the packets during the scan, and this can confuse the firewalls and IDs or IPs, allowing the scan to go undetected. So guys, while leveraging packet fragmentation and decoy scanning with nmap, you can effectively evade detection by firewalls and IDs or IP systems. Remember to use these techniques ethically. That's it for this lecture. Thank you for watching. In this lecture, you will learn how you can integrate nmap with other tools. We'll start by learning how to integrate nmap with Metasploit, one of the most popular penetration testing framework. So run an nmap scan, 25 open ports and services on a target system. So you can see nmap -sp. -sp is used for service version detection, and -ox that will save the results in XML format so that we can easily import the results into nmap. Then that's the file name, okay. And then we have the target, testphp.funweb.com, and then hit enter. So it will save all the result in this scan.xml, okay, and then we can import the nmap scan results into Metasploit. So after scanning the target, now let's open Metasploit and import the nmap scan results. So type msf console, it will start Metasploit framework. You can see it is starting the Metasploit framework console. After that, type in db import and the file name scan.xml. Okay, so it is importing nmap XML data. So you can see it is importing host 44.228.249.3, and now it is ready for further analysis. You can use the services command to list all the services detected during scans, okay. And if you know how to use Metasploit effectively, you can analyze the system for vulnerabilities and exploit those weaknesses. Next, let's explore how to automate nmap scans using a simple Python script. So we'll integrate nmap with Python. Here is a Python script that takes a target IP or hostname and runs an nmap scan. So first we'll import the OS module that will allow us to run system commands from within Python. And then using this target variable, we will get the target IP or hostname from the user. And then you can execute the nmap command with -sp option to detect service version. Okay, so let's save this. And let's execute this using Python 3 scan.py. And let's enter any IP address or hostname. So I will copy this hostname. Okay, just remove this HTTP. So just write it test php.vulweb.com. Alright, so this will scan this testphp.vulweb.com with -sp option. Okay, so the -sp option is used to read the version of services running on open ports. So if you integrate nmap with Python, then you can automate any scan. In another video, we'll see how you can integrate nmap with same tools. That's all. Thanks for watching. MAC address spoofing is the act of changing the media access control address of your device to a different one, either randomly generated or copied from another device. And this can be done to hide your device identity, bypass network restrictions, or test the security of a network. Next, there are some common uses of MAC address spoofing. So first we have is bypassing MAC address filters. So some networks only allow devices with specific MAC addresses to connect. So by changing or spoofing your MAC address to match one of the allowed devices, you can gain access to the network without permission. So then we have for maintaining anonymity and privacy. When you are using public Wi-Fi, spoofing your MAC address can help protect your identity. This makes it harder for anyone like network administrators or attackers to track your device and see what you are doing online. And then we have evading network restrictions. So some networks restrict access to certain devices by their MAC address. By spoofing the MAC address of an authorized device, you can trick anyone into thinking your device is allowed, giving you access. And then we have impersonating another device. So by spoofing a MAC address, you can pretend to be another device on the network. This might give you access to sensitive data or even let you disrupt the network. Fifth one, we have avoiding detection. So whenever you're performing penetration testing or vulnerability assessment, using a spoofed MAC address can help avoid detection by security systems that log and track MAC addresses. And lastly, we have testing network security. So whenever you're testing the network security, you have to check how well a network security measures, such as IDS or access control list, respond to unauthorized devices. In the next lecture, I will cover the practical on it. Thanks for watching. Now let's get into practical side of things. I'm going to show you how to use NMAP, a powerful network scanning tool, to perform MAC address spoofing. We'll go through different scenarios where you might want to spoof a MAC address. So to spoof a random MAC address, type in this command, nmap -spoof, then 0, then the target, okay, that you want to scan. Then hit enter. So you can see it is scanning this target using this MAC address, right? Spoofing MAC address and displaying as host is up. So this host is up and all 1000 scan ports on this IP address or in ignore states. Okay, so you can see it has scanned this IP address, right? So this command will generate and use a completely random MAC address for this scan. Next, we'll specify the prefix of the MAC address and let nmap generate the rest. So use this command nmap -spoof MAC, and here you mention this prefix and target IP address. Then hit enter. So this command will use a MAC address that is starting from 0011, okay, while the remaining bits are randomly generated. To spoof a specific MAC address, type in the command nmap -spoof MAC and specify here the MAC address, okay, and then the IP address of the target machine. So this command sets the MAC address to this one. So let's hit enter. You can see it has set the MAC address to this one, this MAC address, and then it is scanning for this target machine. All right. Next, if you want to spoof a MAC address associated with a particular vendor, use the vendor name. So type in the command nmap -spoof, then -mac, then the vendor name. Here you can mention any vendor name like HP, Asus, or Samsung, or any other name, and then the IP address of the target machine. Then hit enter. So nmap will generate a MAC address with the prefix associated with the vendor Asus. Okay, that's it for this lecture. Thank you for watching. In this lecture, we'll explore the practical aspects of conducting a zombie scan using nmap. We'll walk through live demonstration, analyze the results, and understand the key component of this advanced scanning techniques. So what is a zombie scan? A zombie scan or idle scan is a stealthy scanning technique used to identify open ports on a target machine without sending packets directly from the scanning machine. Instead, it uses a third-party machine, the zombie, to send and receive packets, making it harder for the target to identify the actual source of the scan. Now we'll understand the key concepts in this. So first we have zombie machine, a machine used to send probes on behalf of the attacker. So what are probes? Probes are network packets sent to a target machine to check its ports. And next we have target machine, the machine being scanned, that is a target machine. In this lecture we'll be using Metasploitable 2 as a target machine. And next we have scanner machine, the machine conducting the scan. So that's the scanner machine. Let's understand everything practically. So guys, now we'll choose a machine that will act as the zombie. For this demonstration, I'm using testphp.vulnweb.com. So if you want to get the IP address of this host, just typing testphp.vulnweb.com, you can get the IP address of the zombie machine. Okay. And next, we'll use nmap to initiate an idle scan. So enter the command nmap -si and testphp.vulnweb.com :80. So that is our zombie machine. And next is the target machine. Okay, then hit enter. So you can see it is scanning for the ports. So it will display the open ports on the target machine based on the responses it receives from the zombie machine. So if you want to get what is happening in the background, you can start the Wireshark. Okay, choose the interface. Here you can see it has displayed us the result, right? Like 21 port is open, it is running FTP service, right? But if you want to get what is happening in the background, you can start Wireshark and just then you can run this command. You can see how this is working. So how the traffic is going from the host name, from this host testphp.oneweb.com to this target machine IP address. You can see it in the Wireshark. Okay, like from this source to the target machine. So this is our zombie machine IP address, right? And this is the target machine IP address, and how this is forming the connection. So guys, if the target responds with SYNAC, then it is indicating that port is open. And if the target responds with RST, then it is indicate that the port is closed. And if the target is not responding, then that indicates that the port might be filtered. So in this lecture, we demonstrated how to perform a zombie scan using NMAP, analyze the scan results. So this technique offers a stealthy way to gather information about the target without revealing the source of the scan. That's all for this lecture. Thank you for watching. In this lecture, we'll explore IP spoofing using NMAP. IP spoofing is the technique of sending packets from a first IP address to make it appear as if they are coming from a different source. So it's a syntax that you can use in NMAP. NMAP-E, interface, -s, source IP with target IP. So here, -E option in NMAP that specifies the network interface through which the scan should be conducted, and then -s option that sets our spoofed source IP. So here the source IP address is the IP address of the attacker machine that we are using to perform the scan on the target machine. So let's see it practically. Open your terminal and type ifconfig for checking your IP address. So my IP address is 192.168.174.165. Now we will add temporary IP address to the ETHO network interface. So type this command, okay, ipattr add, then IP address /24 TV ETHO, that's the network interface, and then hit enter. So after configuring the IP, we'll proceed to perform the scan. So let's perform an NMAP scan using the spoofed IP address. Now type in this command, and here you can see -E option. It is specifying the network interface. So our network interface in this case is ETHO, and the spoofed source IP address is this one, okay, with the target IP address is 192.168.174.160. So that's the metasploitable 2 IP address. And the -PN option, so that is for port scanning. It will skip host discovery. So let's enter it. Before entering it, we'll start the Wireshark, okay, and observe the traffic. So let's start the Wireshark, okay, and enter this command. Okay, you can see it is scanning for all the ports, and you can see the source IP address is the same that we used as a spoofed IP address. Right. Now you may have a question: why spoofing source IP? So during penetration testing, especially in external tests, you might not want to reveal your real IP address to avoid being tracked. In that case, IP spoofing allows you to mask your true identity by sending packets from a different source IP. Or if a target website or a network has blocked your real IP address, for instance after detecting multiple scans attempts, you can use a spoofed IP address to bypass this block. So by sending packets from a different IP address, you might still be able to gather the necessary information such as open ports or services running on the target without being stored by the block. That's all for this lecture. Thank you for watching.